guys! So, today's video is, I've been doing research on collection makeup and I want to share my thoughts on all of the items I've tried out. The collection was highly rated by you guys. I did a poll on my Twitter. I'm going to scoot you in so I can show you one of my absolute favourite products. So let's get into this. I'm not sure why I'm so red today. Before we get into the foundation, I'm just going to use my No Problem primer by Touch and Soul. I've been using this primer a lot. If you watch my top 5 affordable concealers, you'll know that the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, which I will talk about in full in a minute, is one of my absolute favourite concealers. I was super excited to try out the Collection Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Foundation, but what I didn't understand is that there's an Ultimate Wear and there's a Weightless. Honestly, I think they're the same, just in different packaging. I think the glass packaging might be old and the tube is new, or vice versa. I have no idea, but I'm going to do one on either side. I do gravitate towards this one because it's a squeezy tube. Such convenient packaging. Easily one of my new favourite foundations, and I will have mentioned that in my last 3 months favourites. Like, this is fabulous. Full coverage, you don't need too much product. I prefer using a brush with this because it makes the makeup go further, but I'm just going to use a sponge today because I have them to hand. Glass bottle, Ultimate Wear. Right hand side of my face. Has everyone been watching the Sheen series? Every time I watch an episode I'm like, I want to rewatch that because it was so good. I was crying with Sheen when he was realising that it hadn't been fair to him. But this series is so worth the wait. You can tell the amount of time and effort they've put into editing. The intro is so incredible. You can see that's a really good match. I'm going to use the Weightless version. I'm so excited for that pig backpack. Pretty sure it's going to be vegan leather because it has all that cruelty-free and vegan formulas. I'm so excited to see their reactions to the James Charles situation. Looking at them close up, dun dun dun, they look exactly the same. I think it's personal preference. If you prefer a glass bottle, get the Ultimate Wear, if these are even both still available. Like a squeezy tube that's lighter and easier to travel with, get the Weightless Wear. So I have the Lasting Perfection Concealer. This is my favourite concealer I've ever found. I do love other concealers. This is just my absolute favourite everyday concealer. It's so affordable. I think this is better than my Tarte Shape Tape. Not as good, better. It comes in so many shades. I don't know how dark this goes, but I would hope it would go quite dark because they just come out with even more shades. Like before you had fair, then you had extra fair, and now I have cool fair. These are the 3 shades I have. Extra fair is the lightest. Cool fair is just a different tone to fair. I use cool fair today. The only thing I would change about this concealer is the packaging. Like, I would love a nice big doe foot. I'm so over these tiny little doe foots. I get over it because I love this concealer so much. Blends in so easy. I don't even feel like I need to build it up. I don't have a powder. I used to have like a pressed powder. I didn't really like it. So I'm just going to use my Maybelline Fit Me. I'm going to have to do the cream products first before I can contour. I have these two. This is the Speedy Blush Speedy Highlighter. This shade isn't my absolute favourite. I don't go for super pinks. This is in Tinkled Pink, but all the other shades were quite deep. This is so champagne-y and pretty. This is in Pearl Sheen. This isn't really for blush, but this is the Ultimate Blending Brush by e.l.f. With that blush on the back of my hand. Pick it up on the brush so I have more of like an even application, I hope. If you go in straight from the stick into your brush, it can look like really harsh. It's a nice like little flush to the cheeks. Use the tip of the beauty blender. I think it's definitely the way to go. Next I have the highlighter and contour kit, or the highlight and sculpt contour kit, excuse me. But my highlighter came shattered. I mean, this highlighter is better. The contour is pretty nice, so I'm just going to use a nice fluffy brush. So it contours pretty nicely. Yeah, I think that this is, it's like collecting in places. Maybe I didn't set that very well. Just ignore that. I don't think this is bad, I just don't think it's my favourite. I'm going to use the highlight, or I'm going to try and use the highlight. It's very silvery actually. Not my favourite, I feel like there's better quality out there. I'm just going to fill in my brows using the e.l.f. Shadow Brow and Liner palette. Show you the Incredibrow. I ended up also putting some eyeshadow in my crease because the eyeshadows I have are liquid eyeshadows and I don't have anything to put in my crease. So the Incredibrow, I really like this product. It tints your brow hairs. There's of the brush, which mine is an absolute state, which I'll get into in a second. It has a plastic bristle, so it really combs through every single brow hair. I love the formula because it really keeps my brow hairs in place. Look how much more lifted and more like brow hair you can see. I appreciate that it does go a little bit messy, and the reason that gets messy is because this brush is a bit too big. I have full-ish brows at the front. Even I struggle. Like, if you have thinner brows than me, you are going to struggle with this brush. Other problem is because it's so big, when you push this in, you are manipulating that brush, which is why a lot of my brush hairs now are so pushed in and mangled that I can only use certain sides of the brush. If they would change their packaging, I would love this. I love how much product you get. You get 8 milliliters of product. This is a big sized tube. Every other one I have, if you're lucky, it's about this big. Really appreciate that. I'd like an ever so slightly, even if it's like ever slightly skinnier, no getting around that, and unfortunately it makes me want to pick up other brow mascaras instead of this one. So love the product, just needs a little bit of tweaking on the packaging. Everyone seems to be doing liquid eyeshadows, and apparently Collection is no different. These are gorgeous. And look at these shades. It's very like prom, more like a bronzy shade. This is almost like this is a bronzy shade but with more like rose toned, and then this is like a very pinkish shade. Very reflective, really pretty. So I'm going to use Envy, which is this like deeper shade. I'm going to use that on the outside of my lid. And I normally just use liquid eyeshadows straight from the doe foot. I'm going to pat that with my finger. It's ever so slightly blended. I zoomed you in because I feel like you couldn't see anything, so I'm just going to put just a tiny bit more, because obviously your finger is going to pick up a little bit of pigment. To blend the edges with eyeshadow after it's dried. I'm going to use this like white gold kind of shade. It can get a little bit streaky. All the others are pretty like consistent. Put a tiny bit of Karma in the centre. I think Karma's the one that's probably the most wearable for every day because it's very like bronzy and delicious. Take a tiny bit of the shadows I used just to make sure the edges are blended and I don't have any like harsh lines. Nice simple eye look. A lot of companies do this now. I did a review on some barium ones that are very similar. Really nice. I do think they're nice for the price, but I think I like the barium ones a little bit more than these ones, especially this one. This one is quite patchy. These ones I don't have any problems with. I actually wanted to do this review a while ago, but I really wanted to try out this mascara. This is the Extreme, I can't even read it, Coloured Lengthening Mascara. Look how cool that packaging is. But it was out of stock on the Superdrug website when I ordered everything. And then I finally found it in store. The reason I wanted to try this, it's blue. You don't find blue mascaras ever. I really wanted to test this out. I haven't really tried the formula. I know this is a pretty pigmented blue mascara because I tested this over a black mascara and you could see the pigment. It says Extreme, but I mean definitely the colour's extreme. Like that is cobalt blue. But that's kind of one coat. You have a look at them. Pretty good. I honestly think it's a good blue mascara. I know that Colourpop came out with a ton of like coloured mascaras and I got every single one of them. But I don't honestly use them that often. So if you don't want to have to pay for the shipping, going for a second coat. That is the blue Extreme mascara. I don't think it's very lengthening or separating or volumizing. I just think it's a really great bold blue colour. Okay, so lastly is lips, and I've mentioned the Velvet Kiss a bunch of times. I mentioned these in my under 30 makeup tutorial. Velvet matte finish, so they're not super drying matte. They're comfortable. They will come off if you eat or drink, but they're so comfy. I have Dreamboat, Llama and Caramel. So I think I'm going to use Caramel today. 2 swipe coverage. It's kind of like a My Lips But Better. There you have it. Those are all my thoughts on collection makeup. Majority were hits, a few duds. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it and you want me to test out a bunch of collection mascaras. I would love to hear from you guys. Subscribe if you feel like it. I try to do a brand review every couple of weeks, and I hope to see you all very soon in the next video. Bye!